Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going over the chart for Charlie Kirk. I'm sure you already know what happened, so I'm going to get into this. Now his chart, it's like a Greek tragedy because it's filled with rebellion and wisdom, destiny, and heartbreak. His North Node is in Sagittarius, and this is basically the stamp of what he's going to be remembered by. It's packed with the asteroids Dejanira, wisdom, psyche, and agapanor, right on top of his North Node. So this is his cosmic blueprint. Now, I don't have his birth time, but I've got a lot of interesting energies here that helps without his actual birth time. So on his North Node, there's Dejanira, and that is the victim asteroid. So he literally lived this out while he was being unalived. The asteroid Wisdom, this is in Sagittarius. So that's his hunger for knowledge, his destiny to absorb ideas and to flip them into teachings. And that's why he founded Turning Point USA, why he writes, why he dives into books, because his Venus is conjuncting the asteroid Hemingway, and that backs this up. So he loved to read, and he also published books. So going back to the North Node here, Psyche, that adds a soul signature. It says his journey isn't just public, it's psychological and spiritual. And he was very religious, which coincides with Sagittarius. Now his asteroid Agapanor on his North Node, this ties into themes of loyalty, friendship, and bonds. It's the karmic thread of how he weaves himself into the lives of others and how the relationships he had and the alliances shaped his path. And he was very, to his friends, loyalty, devotion, and a small circle of friends. Also, he has Mars conjuncting Nemesis and Lie in Scorpio. Mars is the war planet, and it has to do with your passion and your drive. And Nemesis here, that's the asteroid of hidden betrayals and enemies, rivalries. So there's this energy. This energy is intertwined with conflicts, power struggles, or situations that test you. People come into his orbit who pushed him to the limits, and he had a strong instinct for uncovering hidden motives and injustices, with a tendency to go all in when provoked, and sometimes making enemies more than friends. And Lie here, it's all about deception. So this means he cannot just spot power plays, he can instinctively detect when someone is hiding something. Because in Scorpio, this combo, it's intense, it's magnetic. He has this gut level radar by realizing who's honest and who's not. And very good at unearthing the things hidden beneath the surface and exposing the truth. And the ability to channel all of this fire into growth and empowerment, not obsession or revenge, because his Scorpio intuition here is basically unstoppable. And there's this propensity for people to come into his life that could also accuse him of being a liar and to provoke him due to the Nemesis and the Lie conjuncting his Mars. Now he has Jupiter conjuncting his Sun. And Jupiter here is also holding hands with Prometheus. He had a huge personality, very successful, but Jupiter is conjuncting his Prometheus, which magnifies rebelliousness, challenges, and struggles with authority. Prometheus signifies the martyr archetype and the fire of knowledge. And Prometheus is the rebel titan, the whistleblower who defied Zeus to bring fire to mankind. So in Charlie's chart, Jupiter ties into this energy, magnifying the rebellious streak, the challenges with authority, and the drive to ignite new ideas. It's the classic Promethean archetype, the martyr, the challenger, the one who risks backlash to deliver what he believes is the truth. So this combo makes sense for why he built a movement, why he thrives in controversy, and why he plays the role of the firebringer in the modern political arena. And his Jupiter doesn't just expand his ego or expand his core. It expands his Promethean mission to disrupt, rebel, and hand over the symbolic fire of knowledge to his audience. Now, also, here's where the tragedy comes in, because he has Juno conjuncting Melpomene at 0 degrees. That's the tightest orb. Juno is the asteroid of marriage, commitment, and union. And Melpomene is the Greek muse of tragedy, the one who wears the mask of sorrow and loss. So when these two are holding hands at a very tight orb, you don't get a casual marriage story. You get a faded imprint that marriage itself is going to be tied to tragedy. And in his case, that symbolism came alive. It unraveled into a tragic ending. And that's exactly the voice of Melpomene through Juno, the stage of partnership becoming the stage of sorrow. And this is further validated because he's got the groom asteroid conjuncting Agamemnon. Groom is the husband, the partner stepping into the marriage, and Agamemnon, that's pure Greek tragedy, because he was the king who was unalived after he returned from the war. And this pulls in themes of sudden violence, betrayal, which ties back to Nemesis, and also the tragic endings within the context of the marriage. So in the end, when you step back and look at all of these placements, you see the story of a man whose destiny was written in both triumph and tragedy, and his marriage, his legacy, and his very soul, his soul journey, carried all those echoes of Greek drama and tragedy. But beyond the astrology, we can't forget the real people at the heart of this. His wife, now carrying the weight of her loss. He has 2 children growing up without a father, and it's devastating. My heart goes out to them. May they find peace and healing through this heartbreak. And if you're interested in hearing about the synastry chart between him and his wife Erica, let me know in the comments. And that's actually a really interesting synastry. Even though I don't have their birth times, all of the asteroids popped up and gave me a lot of information. And that happens sometimes without having birth times. So rest in peace, Charlie. And I wish Erica and those children a journey of safety, peace, and healing. I will be back shortly with other charts. And if you need a synastry or a natal chart or a transit chart, my email is in the description box, as well as all the information. Have a nice day.